We are going to be talking today about Prophesy document imaging, drive axle, and the SkyTrack delivery center. I've gone ahead and muted everybody. There will be a Q&A session at the end of today's presentation. So if you have any questions, if you would please just jot them down as I go through the program with you, and you can ask those at the end. So let's get started. As we're going to be talking about the Prophesy Dispatch Document Imaging Module, there are many customers online today that are currently using the document imaging module. Also have customers on the line that have do not document imaging module. We have prospects on the line today as well that are looking to learn about the imaging module. So we'll go through that. Many that have been using the imaging module, I think you'll find that there have been many enhancements to the module that you may not be aware of or may not be taking advantage of. We'll go through those. We're also going to be talking about drive axle, and drive axle is a mobile application that we integrate to, and I'll be demonstrating that for you. And then I will also be showing you our new customer portal, which is called SkyTrack, and specifically the Delivery WorkCenter within SkyTrack. The imaging module allows you to associate documents with the loads in the software program. It allows you to document all of the master files in the software. Master files being driver files, tractor files, dealer files, your location files, all of those master files within Prophesy software. The document imaging also includes what's called rendition billing. For those of you not familiar with rendition billing, that is the ability to set up with a customer file what documents they require to go out with their invoice. And when you go into the invoice module in the dispatch program, the system will tell you whether all of those documents have already been scanned into the program or not. If they're missing, you could run a missing documents report. You could run the invoices. You can do a print of rendition billing where you would be actually mailing the invoices and the backup documents to the customer, or you could do email, where it would email the documents and the backup documents directly to the customer. And once again, we'll be taking a look at that. And then, more importantly, you have the ability to search and locate documents. So anytime you get a call from a customer, you can easily locate your documents right in the program without having to get up and go through the paper files. So we're talking about going paperless with the software system. Looking, as I said, at drive axle, and drive axle is a mobile document image capture application. Runs on both the Android and the iOS platforms. We developed a seamless integration between Prophesy and the drive axle application that you can add to your system, and that allows your drivers to scan those documents to what type of document it is, what load it's on, the document's in, it automatically gets processed into the system, gets indexed, associated with the correct load, and you don't have to touch it. Over the last 10 months, Prophesy customers have processed over 22,000 documents through drive axle. So it's a very, very popular interface, and once again, I'm going to be demonstrating that for you today. Well, and the last thing that I will be demonstrating for you is going to be our SkyTrack Delivery WorkCenter, which is a newer version of, some of you may be familiar with our old VidFreight program, which customer portal, and SkyTrack is the latest version of that. So we'll go through that as well. So let's jump right into the software here and go into the live demo. The first thing I'm going to start out is we're just going to go into the document imaging center here. And once again, I want to take you through step by step on the imaging. We're going to look at some of the settings. We're going to look at some setup. We're going to discuss how you scan images and go through all of those. The first thing I want to talk about is image types and how you create those. The thing in our system is that image types are 100% user definable. So if I click here on image types, you'll notice I have a number of image types that are set up in my system. I'm going to go ahead and just sort these. So you can see I have one set up for customers, which is customer contract. Versus I have an accident report, file paperwork, PDL, driver log, photograph. All of these image types are 100% user definable. Send you the system, there are no image types set up in it. So for your training, you'll come in, you'll simply click Add, and let's wanted to add an image type. I'm going to say I'm going to add pictures of my tractors. So it's going to be tractor pictures. I'm going to tractor picture TP. I'm going to associate it with, and I would just click OK, and that's how easy it is to add image types. Once again, these images get associated with with invoices, with drops, with carriers, with tractors, with equipment, which are your files, and with customers. I want to go through here is master files, and we kind of just talked about that a little bit. We could come to a driver file, for instance. Let's take a look at this driver, Andrews. And click here on the document imaging button, we can see that I've already scanned in. And once again, we're going to go over how images get in the system in just a few minutes. But you see I've already scanned in a picture of the driver. You see that I've scanned in a CDL. So all these things, and think of all the other paperwork that you would have for your drivers, a complete driver file, maybe some accident reports, reviews, whatever. You can scan all of those in and associate them with your driver. Master files that you may want to scan stuff in is your carriers. You have a carrier package, authority, insurance certificate. Those things can be scanned in. Your files or trailer files, picture tractors, annual inspections, insurance information, registration information, and your customers or your location files. Once again, you can come into your location files, and let's just come into my customer opening over here. And you notice down here the document imaging. So we can go ahead and we can scan like a customer agreement in and associate it with the customer. While I just want to point out to you this rendition requirements. And I talked about one of the features of document imaging is the ability to do rendition billing, which I said was the ability to define what documents that customer requires you to send to them with the invoices. This is where you do that. You come into the customer file and you check off what is required. Simply click and check off what's required from a rendition standpoint. In addition to that, while we're here, for the SkyTrack Delivery WorkCenter or our legacy web portal Busy Freight, you can check off if these documents exist, go and upload these to the web portal. So if I'm a customer for Albany, if there's POD, upload that to the web portal automatically. If there's an invoice, a customer confirmation, a bill of lading, instead of the customer calling me or calling your operations, they'll go ahead and just go right to the portal, and they can go ahead and get those documents themselves, download them, print them out, whatever they would like to do. So images get into the actual program. Well, there's really two ways. We'll scan them in your office through either a network scanner or a local scanner, or if you opt to get our drive axle integration, drivers would do it through drive axle. And setup of drive axle is extremely easy. Once again, this is an option that you need to add to your program, but you would go into File Preferences, you would click on Mobile Imaging, you would be given a username and a password by the folks over at drive axle, then come in here to the drive axle tab, and on the left-hand side, you are seeing all the image types that exist in the drive axle application. And we're going to go through the application in just a minute. We're going to process a document, and you're going to see it flow all the way through into dispatch. Right-hand side are the associations that I've created. So when a document driver says is a bill of lading and drive axle, when it comes to my system recognizes that as a bill of lading, and it associates it with invoices or the appropriate invoice. The driver sent in a fuel ticket. It would be referenced as a fuel ticket. It would be referenced as a log. You can also set drive axle up and take actual pictures with it. It would come as JPEGs. So if there's damaged goods that your drivers need to take a picture of, they could do that and send that in as well. Go ahead and do this now. I'm going to go ahead and bring up screen my Android phone. And what I do here is I'm actually going to process an image through Excel. Now there is a little bit of a lag here with taking the picture. So the first thing I need to do actually is just take actual pictures. So just give me a second here. You can't see this part through the screen, but I just took the picture of the image with my Android phone. And now you're going to actually see it on the screen, and that's exactly what it looks like on my phone. So I'm going to click Next, like it tells me, accessing the image. And now what I can do is I can trim the image. I'm just going to drag the corners until they're right on the image or pretty close to it. That looks good. That one over there a little bit. Okay, it's pretty good there. And go ahead and just click trim. It's asking me, is this a one-page document or do I want to add another page? I'm going to say this is a one-page document, so we're going to say we're done adding pages. It's asking me to enter the load number. So I'm going to type load number here. This was load 8477. And I'll same thing for the bill of lading number. And I'll check it, it's a bill of lading. And run. And I'm just going to send it by Axle account. And that's all your driver needs to do. Process an image through Drive Axle. Now, one of the real secrets behind Drive Axle, or the keys, and why people like it so much, is A, the cost. It's extremely inexpensive. And 2 is the quality of the documents that come in and get processed. That right now has been sent to the Drive Axle server, where our proprietary software, the quality of that document is going to be dramatically enhanced. You're going to see either this document I just processed, or we'll look at one that I processed earlier, and you'll see based on what you saw on my phone what the document looked like, and what it's going to look like when it comes into the program is literally going to be night and day. It can run on either an Android device or it can run on an iOS device, either one. Image come in a few minutes. The system, the dispatch system, automatically goes out every X number of minutes and looks for new images on the Drive Axle server. And then it will automatically pull those images right into the dispatch program. So we really don't have to do anything at all at this time. The other way that images get into the system is by you scanning them right in your office. We're using a network scanner. In our office, we have one of those biz hubs, and we can program it to scan to specific folders on our network. And you could do that, and you would scan it to an unprocessed image location, which there's my directory right down there. Or you can use a local desktop scanner. We have tested a number of AMBIR scanners, that's AMBIR scanners, and for those of you that are looking for scanners that work well with our program, we can certainly send you information on those scanners. I am using one of their scanners today. They're extremely fast and one's very reliable and relatively inexpensive. There are a few different settings that I want to go through with you, because there are a number of different workflows that were developed over the years with document imaging. And I developed the different ones because different people like to process documents in some different ways. You can batch scan items. You can batch scan them just one page. Notice I've got this setting right here, batch scan 1 page per file, and that's what I'm going to demonstrate to you first. And do that. So I've got several documents in my scanner. I'm telling it to batch scan these documents. and we'll go ahead and just click on scan, and it's going to go ahead and scan documents. You can see it's me right there that it's scanned them. And documents, it's scanned all. It's now telling me that they've been put into my unprocessed documents. So let's come over here to attach, and here's those 3 documents that were put in. So at this point, I can click on that file name. Now I have a choice here in this list. I could either have it give me TIFF over here, or I could have it give me a file name like you see there. And then if I can't make out that number of this bill of lading, I can simply just make it a little bit there and slide over, and I can see this is 8468. So what I would do is come over here, go to invoices, and I'll just type 8468. So it's higher, and now I can simply click and drag over, drag right on 8468. The screen pops up and says, okay, what is this? I'm saying it's a bill of lading. Click OK, and bill of lading is now associated with invoice 8468. I'll come to the next one here, and we'll do the same thing. And once again, you'll just see that's 8470. So just type 8470. And this time, instead of dragging, all I do is click attach image. Once it's a bill of lading, click OK. Now that's on 8470, and just show you that there it is right there. And the last one, we'll come over here and we'll look at this one. You see it's 71. Attach. It's the bill of lading. Click OK. Those bills of lading are now permanently associated with those codes, and they can be put out along with the invoice. They can be emailed. They can be uploaded to the SkyTrack WorkCenter, so customers can get them themselves, and they're permanently filed. Unflow, instead of just scanning one at a time like that, would be where you could go ahead and just scan just a document at a time and have the system ask you what is the document right before it scans them. Once again, this is a little bit older workflow, but it is one that still may be using. So I'm just going to uncheck the batch. I'm going to change this to scan one at a time, prompt for image details. So I'm just going to click scan the image. It's going to ask me. Actually, before we do that, we're just going to type in what image is. So then it's going to 8450, and so just going to hit scan. Once this is a bill of lading, and we'll click OK, and go ahead and scan that in, associate it, and we can see right over here. That's it right there. And we'll go ahead, and there's one more document in my scanner, so we'll scan. Actually, we'll just put the number in first, and then this is 8445. And click scan, and this happens to be a POD. And now we can see there's that POD or delivery receipt. Now, the last method that people will use to scan images into the system, this is something that people asked for a long time and was put into the system just a couple months ago, and that's the ability to scan in multiple documents at the same time and then break them up into a series of documents. So just going to come over here, and I'm going to say scan to one document for later splitting and attachment. So I'm going to click scan the images. Going to pull all those images through. They're in my feeder right now, and there's about 5 pages in this batch that are being scanned in. And it's telling me that. And we'll go to attach. And now we'll click here. We can see, if you look right up here, it says 1 of 5, and you can see there's actually 5 pages that have been scanned in here. What I do now is I want to break these up. Let's say there were multiple page documents. So I would simply click split the image. And now as I scroll through here, you'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. So we'll get to, so let's say the first 2 pages were one document. So we'll double click the second page. So we made one 2-page document now. We'll make pages 3 and 4 together, and the last page by itself, we'll click OK. And what we just did was we took those 5 pages that were all in batch, and the system is now going to make those into 3 different documents that we could then go ahead and associate with the load that we wanted to. We can see the first one is page 1 and 2. The second one are the page 3 and 4. And the last one is just that single page. So it gives you flexibility in how you go ahead and scan the documents. If you want to scan just all single-page documents, if you want to tell the system what the document is and then scan it, or if you want to go ahead and batch scan and split the documents up. What you do right from here is, if you want to email something or fax something, just type in, if a customer calls you, you could come here, you could enter in the load number or a PO number, any kind of reference number. If we're looking for, let's say, a bill of lading, you could simply select the bill of lading. You could click email. You could email it right to them. Email, you see it. This is a new feature, a new email feature. We're automatically attaching that image to the email. It's automatically putting my signature in here, and then when it sends it, it's just using an SMTP protocol, which was just released, instead of calling your local email client. The option you have for sending something here would be, if you do have our optional eFax integration, you could simply click on fax, and then select your recipient. It's a number, and simply click on the fax, and then that will automatically send the document with the cover page right through eFax, right to your customer. So those are the settings involved in the document imaging, and those are the various ways that you can go ahead and scan documents into the system. For just a couple minutes about the rendition billing, so I'm just going to go into the print post bill screen. One column that you may or may not be familiar with, if you're using document imaging or not using it, is the rendition column. And you can see it's telling me under the rendition column which loads or invoices are missing documents, those ones that say incomplete. The way NA are customers that are not set up for rendition printing. The way OK means all those documents are there. If I want to run a report showing me what was missing, I could say select all. I could right-click, and I can generate a rendition document status report where I could print out a report. It would show me for what invoices, what documents were missing, and then I could go find those documents, get them scanned into the system. What I want to show you an example of now, though, is the rendition printing capability. So I'm just going to select this 8475. I'm simply going to click on the print, and there's 2 buttons up here. One is rendition, one is email rendition. The email rendition, if I click on that, the system will automatically go ahead and take the invoices for that customer along with the backup documents and generate an email and send it directly to the customer. A print, just the plain rendition, will go ahead and actually print it out. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to click on print, but instead of printing it to a printer, I'm actually going to print it to a PDF so you can see an example of this. So as you see, it generated a PDF, and you can see the first page is the invoice, and the second page is that bill of lading, which the customer requires. So again, if you were just using a regular printer, printing it out, or if you were emailing, that example of a rendition print, and that is what it looks like when it's going to the customer. Let's do this now, and let's just we'll say no here. We'll say OK, and let's just go to our document imaging center, and we'll go to the managed imaging again, and let's just go to the 8477, which was that we processed via drive axle. And you see now that here is 8477. We see the image. we can send a reference note. It came in from Drive Axle. This is one that got processed automatically. You can see when it came in, today's date, and the time it came in. And if I click on this, let's just open this up a little bit bigger. You'll be able to see as far as the image itself, how clear the image is, and compared to what it looked like when you saw it on my phone. Again, I think certainly just as clear as an image if I had scanned it right in my office. So an example of what the images look like when they come in via Drive Axle from the mobile scanning device. Last we want to talk about today is what we call Delivery WorkCenter, or the SkyTrack Delivery WorkCenter. This is web-based. The SkyTrack Delivery WorkCenter is automatically pulled out of your dispatch system through Excelos integration framework. That then gets sent up to a web server that we maintain. Your customers would log on, and they would see specific information that you have set to upload and have given them permission to see. So website, you would add a button that would say load tracking or shipment tracking. They would click on that. It would open up a new page, and it would bring them to a logon page just like this. We can label or brand the login screen so it has your company name and logo. Give each user a specific username and password. That's each user at the company. Now, some customers will also use this in-house for if they have more users that want to see information about what's going on in the dispatch system, but actually have access to the dispatch system, but they just need to see load information. So you can see that the SkyTrack Delivery WorkCenter opened up. I have mine configured so that we have a grid on the left-hand side, and we're seeing some mapping information on the right-hand side. All this is really customizable on your side. You can make it look the way you want it. If you want to lock things down so that your customers don't have the ability to change around the settings, we can do that. The other thing that we would do is we would create what are called identity claims. And identity claims are associated with cars on loads, with furs on loads or places that loads are picked up, and with companies on loads. So when you give somebody a username and password, you can say only let them see loads that X company is the customer on, or the customer and the shipper, or the customer, the shipper, and the consignee. It depends. So it's very flexible. It is not just based on the customer. You can also set up alerts. And the thing about this product is alerts are 100% user definable. They are event-driven at this point. If a load is picked up, if a load is delivered, if a stop occurs on a load, you email to be sent out or a text message to be sent out to somebody automatically, and you can customize the content of that email that gets sent out. With old legacy product, you didn't have the flexibility there to do that customization on alerts and things like that. Let's take a look here, looking at one of these loads. Let's look at 8476. So I'm just going to click here next to 8476. You can see this little greater than symbol. And if we look up a legend, we can see what some of these symbols mean. We can see the green push pin is the origin. And if I put my cursor over that, you can see the load number. You can see that that stop is complete. You can see the city, state that it was picked up in. We see that the color of the route is green, which means that the load is running on time. If it was running late, it would be red. We also see the actual shipment, where it was last located. So what you're updating information manually in the dispatch system through the check call screen, or if you're integrated with one of our Mobilecom partners, whether it be OmniTrax, Rand McNally, Teletrack, PeopleNet, or if you're using our SkyTrack application, that information can flow, obviously flows into the dispatch system automatically and updates it. So if I put my cursor right over the shipment, I can see the load number. I see the status that it's on route or it's been shipped. I can see when it was shipped, the estimated time of arrival, its final destination. I can see the contents, and I can see the last known location and when that update occurred. So this was updated. It was a manual check call, obviously. It was updated this morning at 7:53, and the tractor was located in North Ridgeville, Ohio. Final destination, I can see where it's going to, Boise, Idaho. And once and as the shipment progresses, it will simply progress right along the route. Now, we're also seeing some paper clips next to some of these loads, and what that's telling me is there's documents that have been uploaded. So look at 8473, and we just click on that document, on that paper clip. It's going to open up, and it's going to show us what documents are associated with the load. And in this case, we can see we have a POD. This tends to be a signed POD. This is one that's actually generated from our SkyTrack mobile product, which is our mobile comm system that runs on the Android phone. I can also see an invoice, and this obviously was an invoice that was generated out of the dispatch system, but it flagged to be automatically uploaded. So if a customer wanted to print one of these out, they could simply hit print. Or if they wanted to email it to themselves, they could email it. All doing that from right here themselves without having to contact you for this information. So we had and we've reviewed Prophesy Dispatch document imaging module. It is obviously integrated right into your system, and you can associate documents with loads, car files, driver files, tractor files, trailer files, carrier files. We've talked about mobile capture of documents using our partner's application, SkyTrack, and talked about customer portal, which is called SkyTrack. At this point, what I'd like to do is go ahead and I'm going to unmute everybody. And if anybody does have any questions on anything that I've gone through today, I would open it up to any questions you might have. Are there any questions from anybody?
I have a question.
Okay.
Is it?
Well, they're actually, we're talking about 3 different modules here. You've got the documenting module, which is one add-on you can get, the drive axle, which is a separate add-on, and then SkyTrack Delivery WorkCenter. And it's best if you contact directly the salesperson. They can go over specific pricing with you. I will tell you that all 3 modules are being promoted this month at a reduced rate, and if you get more than 1 module, you'll get it at even a better rate. But I would suggest you contact whether you work with me, or you work with Jay, or one of the other salespeople to contact them directly, and they can go over the specific pricing with you.
Thank you. I have another question. When you have a customer and you do multiple loads in a day for them, and they want several PDFs, they just want all of their invoices in one big PDF, how would you do that?
What you could do there, what I would do there is, and I'll just jump back over here to the dispatch program. So you invoice 1 load, 1 invoice, is that correct, or do you do master invoicing?
1 load.
Okay. So what I would do is this. I would go ahead and I would filter down to only run that customer's load. So you would come in here and you would just select that customer. So I'll just select 1 customer. And then let's say you just go ahead and say select all. So you're processing all of their invoices at once. Then I would click on print. And the way to get these into 1 PDF is, and you might want to jot this down, I would use an external PDF writer, and the best one I found, it cost about $19, is called Broadgun. And I would simply click on print and have my print set up, pointed to my Broadgun program. I would click OK. I'm going to go ahead now, and it's going to put all of those invoices. You can see all 8 invoices are in 1 PDF. And simply click email, and you could email it. It'll actually call your whatever client you're using, and you can email it right to them that way.
The backup that goes with each individual invoice.
If you're doing a rendition, then you would do the same thing I just did. Next, you would click on rendition. Make sure that your print setup is pointed to your PDF writer. click OK, and it will go ahead and it's going to generate the invoice plus all the backup documents. And you can see instead of having those 8 pages, now we've got 13 pages. And each backup document, the ones that have backup documents, you'll see that they are associated right with the invoice.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Questions from anybody? Yes.
This is Guy. My question is this. We wanted to scan the invoice, the bill of lading, PD, lumper receipts as one document. Just save one document per load?
Absolutely, Guy. What you do is instead of sending them individually like I did and giving them individual names, what some people will do is they'll go in and they'll create image type just called load documents. Just scan them all in together. Now, certainly, that kind of speeds up your process a little bit, if you will, of getting them all in together. The downside of that, Guy, is you get a call from that customer and looking for just a bill of lading from a specific load. You can't search for that one document. You've got to go to and send them all load documents for that specific load. Absolutely, you can just scan them in as one document and associate it with the load. That's you have the option of doing that.
Okay. You're
welcome. Any other questions on either the document imaging, the drive axle, or the delivery work center? Okay. Well, here on, I certainly would like to thank everybody for attending today's webinar. For the you that are using the docking module, I hope you learned something today that maybe you didn't know, and you can put that to work for you in your organization. If you're not using one of the modules we talked about today, if you'd like to contact either myself or Jay, we would be more than happy to go over that with you. If you're a product and you'd like more information on the software in general, once again, just please contact us. Thank you much, and I hope everybody has a wonderful afternoon.